Hello everyone, welcome to your virtual instructor. So in today's lab, we are going to implement Transit Gateway with restrictive routing. In the earlier video where we connected two VPCs in the same region, we had implemented Transit Gateway with full routing because we allowed the default route propagation to the Transit Gateway route tables. But this time we want to implement the restrictive routing. This is a very normal scenario because you have multiple VPCs in your organization and you only want to communicate with some of the VPCs and not all of the VPCs. So we'll see how we can implement transit gateway restrictive routing, though we'll be attaching the transit gateway attachment to each of the available VPCs. Transit gateway where we connected two VPCs in the same region, you can find the link in the video description. So in this lab, we are going to do SSH using the public IP in the EC2A in public subnet in VPC A. So we will be using it as a jump box. Then we will be doing SSH to a private EC2A machine in VPC A itself in private subnet. Then we'll try to reach out to EC2B, which is present in another VPC, that means VPC B. And also with the private EC2A instance, we will try to reach out to private EC2C instance, and we'll see that we will be able to reach out or not. So the desired result should be, we should be able to do SSH to EC2B instance, but we shouldn't be able to do SSH to EC2C instance. And at the same time, we should be able to do SSH to EC2C from EC2B instance. So to start the lab for today, let's jump into our AWS console. Here I am in AWS console, and in the interest of time, I've already deployed three VPCs in the US East region, VPC A, B, C. And if you go to the subnets, you will see I've deployed private subnet A, public subnet A in VPC A, and subnet B and subnet C, which are private in VPC B and C respectively. And also I've created respective route table and associated with each of these respective subnets. And also I have attached one internet gateway to the VPC A. Now if I go to the EC2 dashboard, I've already deployed the four instances which are in running state in respective VPCs. A in the VPC A and B and C in the VPC B and C. And of course the public EC2, that means jump box A, in the public subnet of EC2A. Now let me log into our jump box. I've logged into this public machine, that means our jump box. So you can see this is the IP ending with 198, and here IP is ending with 198 for jump box A. Now let me try doing SSH to EC2A. So I have already copied the PAM key and did the required operation. Let me just try to do the SSH. So I can log in into private instance EC2A. Now if I try to do SSH to EC2B, then let's see what happens. So first I need to copy or create a PAM key in this private EC2A. Now if I try to do SSH to EC2B, and let's see if it works. So as expected, this is not working. Now let's try the similar step with the EC2C. So here also this is not working. And also, just for your information, I have already allowed security group rule to private EC2B and C. So if you see here, if I go to one of the private instance here, and if I go to the security, and if I go here, I have already allowed the inbound rule SSH22 from this super CIDR block 10.0.0.0.8. This is basically the supersider of all these three ranges will come inside all three ranges, this supersider range. So now we have seen there is no connectivity from private EC2A to private EC2B and to machine C. So what we'll do, we'll deploy one transit gateway and we'll see if the connectivity works or not. So if I go to my VPC dashboard and if I scroll down and under the transit gateway section, if I go to the transit gateways, I don't have any transit gateway as of now. So let's create one. Default route table association and default route table propagation I am disabling because I don't want to the propagation to happen automatically to the transit gateway route table. Here create the transit gateway. So now my transit gateway is available. So inside the transit gateway section, go to the transit gateway attachments, and now we'll be creating three attachments which is required for each VPC. Attachment type will be VPC. Others type we are going to talk about in the future lectures. Keep everything as a default. VPC ID I will be choosing VPC A. Create a second one for VPC B. And now the last one for the VPC C. So all the attachments are available now. Now I will go to the transit gateway route tables, and here I will be creating the transit gateway route table. So my route tables are available now. So if I go to the route A, so if I go to the association and propagation, so nothing is available here, as well as there is no routes available. So what I will do, I will associate it with the respective attachments. So click on the create association. This is very similar to subnet association. Go to the route B. Okay, so now I'm done with the association part. Now if I see, still my routes are blank because though I have already attached or though I have already done the association with the respective attachment, but still transit gateway route table doesn't know how to reach to other VPCs. So we have to create a propagation so that route tables can know how to reach or what is the CIDR range of other VPCs to which they have to connect to. So if I go to the route A, so here as per our diagram, A should be able to connect with B. I will be creating the propagation only for the B. So if I go to the propagation, here I will be selecting the B. Now if I go to the B, so B should be able to communicate with the C as well as with the A. So here I have to create the two propagation for each of the attachment. So if I go to the propagation, then hit on create. First I will be creating with A, then again I will be creating it for C. And now if I go to the C, as per the diagram, we have to establish a connectivity between VPC B and C. So I will be creating the propagation for the attachment B. Now if you see, the routes are showing here. And for the route B, you can see two propagations, two routes are showing here. So if you see, if you click on any of the VPC IDs, so this is for the VPC C. And if you check this, then this is for the VPC A. Now we are done with the propagation and association and creating the transit gateway route table. So we should be good. Now let's try our connectivity. No, it didn't work. Now let me try to second machine. And same is the case here. So any guesses what we have missed? I believe many would have guessed already that we have to also add routes to the respective subnet route tables. If I go to the route tables, I don't want to touch public because I'm not connecting via public, so I will be using only private route A and route B and route C. So here again I will be giving directly the super CIDR range instead of giving each VPC CIDR range. Here it should go via transit gateway attachment. So if you see attachment A here. Now if I go to my private route table B, here do the same. My attachment B, same. Now we'll do the similar exercise with the our route table C. And it should flow via our transit gateway attachment C. And now we should be good. So if I do, so as you can see, I can establish a connectivity to the IP ending with 196. And here we have 196. So we are able to connect from private EC2A to EC2B. For the second part, let's check the connectivity between A and C. So CIP is 10.20.18. So if I try to do SSH to machine C, so I won't be able to. Now, as a last part, I have to check the connectivity between B and C. So for this, I will be again doing SSH to our EC2B. And here I will be creating a PAM key. So here if I type and do a control C, and let's change the file permission. Now, as you can see, I am in machine B, IP ending with 196, and I need to connect with the EC2C. So let's hit on connect and copy this SSH command. So here I am able to connect. So we are able to establish a connectivity between A and B and B and C, but also at the same time we are able to restrict the connectivity between A and C. Now comes the cleanup part. Because cleanup part is very important because transit gateway attachment will be charged at the hourly rate as well as you will be charged based on the traffic. So I don't want to keep them running. And it will be deleted in a minute or so. So this marks the end of this lab. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson and learned something from it. Please do provide your feedback. So thank you for watching and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.